Welcome back to Bay City Chronicles presents Next Gen, everybody. I am your Game Master, TGE, and joining me tonight are, well, these three people who apparently I have some information that I'm holding over them, so they decide to keep showing up.
Pretty much.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I know what he's talking about. I'm a lawyer, that's why I know.
He's the lawyer.
Look, I have the same connections he does, okay? Just saying.
So, I suppose we should probably introduce them. Send in the clowns. There's OPT lawyer. We've got Chameleon Ice, the beauty school dropout. And if I were a rich man, I wouldn't be Norestra. As I said, I am your GM, TGE. And if you did not get what that reference was for the opening gag, we will tell you later.
I didn't.
You're crying in a corner.
Those are all songs from musicals.
Yeah.
Beauty School Dropout is from Greece. Send in the Clowns. I forget exactly what that one's from. And then If I Were a Rich Man, I added the addendum of I Wouldn't Be.
Right. Good old Fiddler on the Roof.
Yep. Exactly. And according to chat, one day everyone will be really enthusiastic for the openings, and then things are going to be worried. Anyway, I suppose a recap is in order.
Things happened.
Last time on Bay City Chronicles, we began the Chasing the Dragon arc, everybody.
Woo!
That we've been on.
Yay.
No, yes, but this is the actual Chasing the Dragon arc proper. So you guys had made your way into the Dreaming. And there you found your way into the dark corner of the Dreaming known as the Nightmare. As you entered, everybody was sort of shipped off into their own personal nightmare. Alex was set to relive an accident that he couldn't do anything to help because he had no powers. And to make matters worse, it was the accident that killed his father. Gianna was set to rule over a world with her mother that she had to sort of join her mother in to save her friends, and even then they still hated her. Chase and Charlie were watching the scene over and over again where they lost a teammate, and apparently Hilbert was in an ever-ending loop of watching Drake put on the horror show mask and betray him over and over and over and over. But the real nightmare was what Drake had to go through, which was standing there with Horror Show as he got to watch all of his friends experience these nightmares and not be able to do anything about it. So Horror Show egged him on, egged him on, and egged him on until finally, after throwing himself at the window to try and break Gianna out, Horror Show revealed his true form as he was basically sipping on the fear coming out of Drake, like a nice cup of tea. Turned out Horror Show was just a small bit of the powers of death. And at that point, as the scythe was coming down on Drake's neck, the dragon powers re-recognized him, and, well, death had to ride off into its own sunset. We left our heroes standing in the corner of the Dreaming that was the powered nightmare, now just a small little ball, with everyone back together. Alex, Drake, Gianna, Hilbert, and, of course, Chase and Charlie.
Chase being the oddly odd man out, but yes.
You think. So as we begin, on the cover, the same dragon chasing its tail insignia is emblazoned on the front. But this cover is a little bit different than the ones we've seen previously. It's all taken up by a zoomed-in picture of a crow's face, with the yellow eye gleaming in the middle of the dragon. This is Bay City Chronicles Presents Next Gen issue 33, Chasing the Dragon Part 2, Heavy Be the Heads. We're going to open up the comic to the exact same scene we left on last time, with the full
I'm gonna interject
crew
in here. So, we open up with, as you said, with Drake saying the final line from the last comic. We do this together. Go ahead.
I was going to be saying that.
I wanted to see her get better.
Okay, you open up the comic book, and strangely, Drake is missing from the picture.
Sweet, I get to go to bed. Bye.
We don't need Drake for this. Wait, dang it.
Who? Drake who? It's always been just you and me, Alex.
I know.
Exactly.
It's been you and OPT. It's been...
Yeah. What?
Mm-hmm. So yes, you're all standing there in this corner of the dreaming. So what's happening?
Okay, so Charlie is staring at Chase with this just face that's just getting angrier and angrier as he stares directly into his eyes.
Will you just say it already?
I hate you.
Have you practiced saying that into a mirror?
Yes.
Okay. I want you to know.
Did it come out well? Because I really practiced that one. Was there enough anger in that? I mean, just trying.
Anger. I didn't get anger. I got angsty teen. Though.
Yeah, that's probably. I mean, considering everything it's gone through, it's kind of frustrating.
Anyway, hate me all you want, but the situation is a lot more complicated than you think.
I'm personally blaming you for all, which I guess means I'm blaming myself for all the. I don't get this whole time travel thing.
I don't either. But all of you, hate me if you want. I needed you to hate me.
You what?
So Alex looks over like...
You to hate me.
Why?
Because of a promise I made 10 years ago.
So Charlie's looking at him with his head tilted, and he's actually doing math in his head like, okay, that's after me still, okay.
What happened 10 years ago?
What happened 10 years ago? What happened 10 years ago? Well, this is a good place as any to show you because of where we are. Gianna, would you do me a favor?
It depends.
Your powers resonate throughout this place, don't they?
Yes.
Do you think you could use them to show my dreams like you're on a projector? I figure the show is easier than the tell.
So Alex actually stands a little closer to Gianna and kind of angles himself between Chase and Gianna, like, what do you want her to do?
Gianna actually puts a hand on Alex and she walks towards him. Walks like a little bit closer to Chase. All right. I've used my powers before to look into what other people have been thinking about. And I think doing this, almost doing it in reverse, it shouldn't cause too many problems. But if you try anything at all,
I wouldn't.
everybody here hates you.
As aforementioned.
I needed you to hate me, and I'll explain why if you do this. It will explain why. And the reason why I'm having you do this is because a teacher of mine once said, don't believe anything you hear and only half of what you see. So I know if I tell you, you won't believe it. At least if I show you, there's a chance.
Fine.
And then he looks at Charlie and goes, Mrs. Thibodeau, junior year. He smiles.
So Gianna kind of like beckons Chase to like squat down or lean down because he's probably significantly taller than her.
Yes.
Yeah. And she kind of reaches out with her power and she kind of focuses in. And she tries to do exactly what he suggested that she do. And she believes that she can. Even though she's technically never done this before.
So I need you to go ahead and roll to unleash your powers.
Oh, of course.
I'll tell you right now it's going to happen either way. This is just determining if I have to do anything.
Fair enough.
While this is going
on.
While this is going on, Drake's talking to Charlie. You think we could shove him in the proof of holding?
Chibi holds up a sign. No.
I don't think Chibi would have liked that much. That's too good for him. Can
okay.
we just shove him off the cliff or something?
So, real quick question before I give this description. Who has played Final Fantasy VII?
Have played it? I've played it. Remember anything about it? Nope.
Well, specifically, there's a scene where you get to Cosmo Canyon, where you're up in Bugenhagen's observatory.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's a beautiful
and
scene.
He hits the button, and everything sort of like goes to like the space theme thing.
Yeah.
That's kind of what happens as you do this. It just the whole world, because this is the dreaming, starts. The whole area around you starts to project what he's trying to show you.
So it's an observatory. Okay.
Basically, it's turned into this little dreaming observatory.
I like it.
So this all goes around, and it's funny because you know you're in a projection, and what you see is the dreaming, but it looks a little different. It's not as dark. It seems a little brighter almost. You can see the nightmare over in the corner, but you're in the dreaming. And you see Chase Cassidy, a younger Chase Cassidy, a 10 years younger Chase Cassidy in the dreaming, looking around, wondering what's going on.
Do we all see this? I'm sorry.
Yes, everyone's seeing this.
Okay.
Everyone is seeing this.
That's the point.
Yep.
Show everybody.
Let's make it sure.
Yep. And as this is going on, you hear the sound of like footsteps walking through a hallway. And off in the distance, you see them. And as they get closer, you recognize who's walking up. It's Dreamweaver, but not the Dreamweaver you recognize. This one looks more akin to when she was Dreamcatcher back in the vision you saw, when she and Chase were working together as a team, and less the Dreamweaver that you've seen her as recently. Chase looks shocked to see her in this state. So apparently, obviously, it's been a couple years at least since she left or whatever. So she has this look, he has this look, and seeing her like this, he refers to her in her first name. Minerva? And she goes, I don't have a lot of time, but I need you to do me a favor. Things have gotten very complicated. I'm going to lose what little control I have very soon. There'll be a way to fix this. It's going to take a while. If it turns out either of my children have powers, I need you to help them get control of them. I need you to help them learn how to use them so that eventually they will be able to help. Please, they can't know I've asked. No one can. That's why I'm coming to you in your dream. Promise me, Chase. And he looks very confused and goes, can I choose? You cannot tell anybody. I need this to be you. And he solemnly sort of looks and nods. And as he nods, she just has this panic, oh, good luck. And she poofs out of existence, and the dream ends. Clearly, he obviously woke up from something.
That was my mom.
Alex is next to Gianna with like a hand on her shoulder, or around her shoulders, actually.
Why did she come to you and not my dad?
Why did she come to you? Period. Question mark.
You gonna add an exclamation point too?
Yes.
Okay. Because it would look suspicious if she came to him, as far as I understand. Either way, he could help you, but she knew that he would probably not agree to it. She knew that and besides, anything he did, it would look like he was trying to help her. I could do it and make it look not. I can make it look like I had lost everything out of spite. So I did. Once news of you and your friends came across my desk, I enacted a plan to make it so that you and your friends would be able to know fully what you were capable of. And unfortunately, I had to do things that I didn't quite necessarily feel were the best options, but I had to.
So Alex kind of steps up, like, your actions almost got me erased from existence.
You
That
put
was
a
not
bomb in a carnival. You almost blew us all up.
I did not plant an actual bomb. If there was any residue of the bomb, that was not because of me. I did not get you erased from existence. I had no clue that was going to happen. Yes, I sent the other people there. I did not know it was planning to get you erased from existence.
The fact that you're complicit in something you may not have known, but you went along with it. I need an explanation that's better than just that. There's clearly a lot of gaps now.
And what about the monster that you turned into, where you almost tried to kill all of us?
I'm not sure that was him.
That wasn't me. I don't even know what you're talking about. I've been trapped here for the past couple of months.
Charlie steps. I was like, yeah. So there was a copy of you running around that then turned into a monster that then I kind of stomped its head in.
Oh, fun.
Actually, kind of was at first, and then it wasn't.
Let me guess. You screamed his ear off?
No.
He did.
Yes.
How long were you gone, Mr. Cassidy?
You mean how long have I been here?
Yeah.
Since you met me at that arcade.
So you did disappear right after that.
I did.
Alex looks confused, but it's just like,
That's just Gianna. Oh, wait, no.
no,
Yeah,
John was there.
well, she's still confused.
Right.
Yes.
Charlie remembers the arcade well. It's when he failed at dancing horribly.
Yes. That did happen.
Yes, it did. It absolutely happened, and I loved every second of it.
Is that you, OPT, or you, Charlie?
That was me. That was the player.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie hated every second of it.
I bet.
I still don't get it entirely. It's not that I don't believe that my mother might have come to you. I mean, my mom's not really a good... It's complicated, but you just did so many terrible things.
Your mom is a better person than you think.
Alex looks over and is like, well, wait a second, Gianna.
What?
Based on what we saw there, assuming what we saw can be believed, looks like something was happening to your mother.
Well, she said she was losing control.
Exactly. It sounds like she tried to set all this up before she lost it. Apparently, maybe what we've been looking at is really just something using your mother. It's like body, shell, something. I don't know.
No, it's the real Minerva Robinson.
Okay.
Just the one thing your mother wanted. And as he says this, he's not just looking at Gianna as he says this. He's looking at Gianna and Hilbert as he says this. The one thing that your mother wanted was to ensure that her children would be as safe as they possibly could be. She didn't feel that we were doing enough. So, in a time that we all were suffering weakness, right after, and he looks down, you all know what he's implying. Someone made her an offer. An offer to give her all the power she could need. Castor wasn't the name of the person who gave her the offer. They referred to themselves as Vexiot.
I don't know that name.
Vexiot.
The only
Wait,
one
wait,
who
wait.
might.
Children. Right. The multiple. Hilbert?
Seriously, Gigi? Seriously?
You
You
look
look at me.
look. You're just figuring this out now?
I didn't think we looked anything alike.
I'm dumb as a rock, and I figured it out.
He's dumb as a rock, and he figured it out.
He's dumb as a rock, and he figured it out.
Charlie goes, he is pretty... Chase goes, he is pretty freaking dumb.
Charlie actually looks at him and says, okay, that's probably the first thing we've agreed on.
Why didn't you tell me directly, Drake? Was that what that thing was in the room earlier with the mumbling and the looking and putting us in front of the mirrors?
You know, I figured you would have figured it out sooner.
Why didn't
I think I had to
say
stop
so?
you in front of a mirror and drag us into the nightmare.
Huh.
So yeah, Hilbert over here is at least half brother,
Half
at a
brother?
minimum.
I'm pretty sure half because her father knew nothing about him.
True, but that doesn't mean anything.
I mean, okay,
I'm not
that's
sure
fair point.
though if Dad might have been lying or keeping it from me either.
I get the feeling he wasn't.
Your father did not know anything about that.
But 10 years ago, Mom and Dad were still together.
You're 13. Hilbert is 16.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So there's more to that story than meets the eye. You're not wrong, just not in the right direction.
Gigi, don't ever change. We turn the page, and there's just, instead of continuing the story, there's just a smiling picture of Hunter and goes, remember, kids, this is why math is important.
I love
Right.
math!
With Drake with a sign of the math sims with the no math lighting it on fire.
Yes. We turn the page and
No
we're
math.
back. We're turn the page and we're back to the dreaming. Oh.
Yeah, that was like a one-page pin-up for like literally no reason. It's like, yeah.
Because we can, that's why.
I mean, the number of one-page pinups that we've done because we can is something.
Yeah, I think the entire comic book was basically that.
There's at least one ad based on that.
Yep.
Yep. An acorn
So-
in every box.
I literally have the ability to pull up whenever we want, just if I...
Yes, not now.
So, Chase, what actually did happen to my mom then when she lost control?
She made a deal. She was offered the power to keep you safe. It just came at a price. Her price was to be locked here.
But why were we in danger?
What were y'all keeping them safe from?
The deal was she had the power to keep you safe, which is what she made. Doesn't mean she would have the wherewithal to do so after everything happened. When dealing with people, when making deals with unknown entities, you need to word yourself very carefully.
Why would she even bother?
Here it takes a lawyer.
Yes, I know a couple of good ones. And the best part is, the best piece of advice I've ever gotten about a lawyer is never trust one from Ohio.
Yeah, no, trust me, those Ohioans.
I thought it was. I thought it was always read everything.
Well, yeah,
That's the first one. The next one is don't trust anyone from Ohio.
exactly.
I don't trust anything from Ohio.
I mean, yes.
Anyway, yes, so the wording of the deal was she said that she had the power to keep you safe. And she did. She just didn't have the full capacity to do it. Because the deal brought her here as the ruler of the dreaming. You might have seen that since you've seen her recently, she's had a crown on her head. That crown is what gave her the powers to keep you safe, but also what started to corrupt her slowly. That crown binds her to the dreaming.
What happens if she takes it off?
She can't.
Why not?
Because the crown itself is cursed and bound to whoever shall wear it. There are 2 ways for her to remove that crown. I've spent 10 years figuring this out.
So the first one I can guess is the killer.
Is that the bearer of the crown dies?
And the second is that we die, I'm guessing. No.
The second is that the deal that was made is fully completed. By finishing the deal, she can remove the crown. But it would go. But apparently, whoever it would go to is worse than her having it. And for the record, here is a picture of the crown he's referring to. The crown that is the artifact that shows you are the one in charge of the dreaming. This is the somnolent crown.
Ooh, sorry.
So Drake's gonna turn up. So do we have the fine print on this? Hold on a second.
You might have the fine print on this.
What is
Drake? Drake is making a phone call to the dreaming.
What?
Okay. While you're doing that, what was your question, Alex?
Oh, just says, what do we need to do to, like, what are the terms of this agreement? If it's to keep her and Hilbert safe, that seems like an unending agreement.
I don't know.
Oh.
But apparently she wanted, whatever her plan is, involved at least one of her children, in this case, both of them being here, understanding how to use their powers, and doing whatever. So, Drake.
Yeah.
You don't get reception, but you can still make the call you need to.
Guess!
Because you're in the dreaming. You can contact people who are sleeping. And you start yelling for the goose, and you see a spectral goose appear in front of you. And he is wearing pajama bottoms that say, "Have a honking good time" on them. And he's got a nightcap on.
Yes, I was going to say.
That looks like the hat from the Minish Cap.
You know, why didn't you make yourself at least bigger? You look ridiculous.
I was wondering how you knew he was sleeping, but then I realized who we were talking about.
Yes.
Does he have a bird on top of his head?
Maverick?
Why are you bothering me while I'm sleeping?
You're having a nightmare.
You're calling me while Did that mean you...
Yeah. Yeah, I'm back.
He's back.
Damn it.
Also, Death's corpse is over there.
It is.
All I see is a scythe.
No, that's what's left.
Well, that's what's left of his corpse.
Anyway, what do you want? I was having the best dream. I was in the middle of a production of Swan Lake.
Of course you were. You realize in that rendition the goose gets axed, right?
I was gonna wake up before that.
I got a question for you.
Okay.
What do you know about a somnolent crown?
Any thanks from it? Oh. Okay, so when you seek the guidance of one of the elders of a member of your legacy, tell them the problem you face and ask them a question about the problem. They will answer honestly and tell you what to do. Take +1 ongoing if you listen. If you go your own way, mark potential. That is the move Words of the Past.
That is. I haven't gotten used to that in a while. But Drake is asking directly, what do you know about the crown's curse?
Correct. Well, as soon as my document wants to load, I will tell you what I have written. He looks, well, here's what the lore that I know about says about not just the somnolent crown, but there's a bunch of artifacts that sort of fall into the same thing. When you're dealing with places like the Dreaming or even the Nine Hells, sort of like demi-planes attached to where we are, it's kind of weird, and they kind of have their own rules. But most of them have some sort of way to determine who's in charge. Like, for example, if you're the ruler of the 9 hells, you wear the Hellfire crown. In this case, the person in charge of the dreaming wears something called the Somnolent crown. Basically, from what I know, is the longer you wear the crown, the more it corrupts your thoughts, because the crown itself absorbs all of the dreams and the nightmares, and you have all of these voices in your head, and it slowly drives you mad. The crown is one of those succession things where there's only a couple ways it can be removed, and there's always got to be someone supposedly in charge of the dreaming, just like there's always got to be someone in charge of hell. And I'm pretty sure I know who's in charge of hell. It's definitely my ex. But we're not talking about her right now. We're talking about this. So if you're asking me about what that is, that's what I know. I don't know the full details of the curse. I'm just extrapolating based on information I know. If you're asking me how to remove it, well, the easy answer is you kill the person who's wearing it.
Right. But yeah, Gigi.
She raises her hand.
Gigi,
Miss
you were not
Robinson,
raising
how
your
can I
hands.
help you?
What happens if nobody wears it?
That's the problem. If nobody wears it and it just sort of comes up for grabs, then you've got wars and enough energy happening to rule over a plane. There could be tears in it. It could spill out into the waking world, and it's a bad, bad look.
Can it be
Why
destroyed?
does anybody want it?
Wouldn't you like? There are some people who just want to, who all they want to do is rule over people. What better thing? Oh, you're ruling over their dreams. You can do some really weird crap to people. Oh, you don't like your ex? You give him a nightmare every night. You think that girl over there in 2B is cute, or the guy up in 3C is cute? You know, you send them dreams that, you know, they're all these happy-go-lucky dreams. There's all kinds of things you can do.
But what Alex said, what happens if you destroy it?
Are any of you strong enough to destroy holy cursed items that have been around for thousands and thousands and thousands of years?
Well, you've been able to do everything else so far.
I don't know yet.
Yeah, all three of us kind of raise our hand, I assume.
Mr. Stanton, definitely not. Miss Robinson, probably, but I don't think you'll be able to destroy the Somnolent Crown considering your powers come from here. And as for you, I wouldn't do it if I were you.
Got it.
The last time somebody in that armor tried to destroy the Hellfire Crown, you actually know what happened the last time. You've met them. Their name's Interitus.
Oh.
Oh.
So not even that's worth, like, not even death. That's just. Oh.
That's.
Yeah.
Drake, even though he's fully restored back, Drake did not like hearing Interitus'
but
name.
Charlie in the background is just like, well, this got serious quickly.
Yeah, we got the swimming pool around. We're good. We're good. Yeah, okay, we're good.
Anything else I can do for you?
That
Can I get back to Swan Lake, please?
That doesn't seem really fair. If anybody wears the crown, then they have to go insane. But if you destroy the crown, bad things happen. And if somebody doesn't take the crown, then everybody's gonna want it. And it sounds like nothing but bad. Why does this exist?
Because
people back in the day were crazy.
I mean,
also, let me ask you a question. Do you think that someone has lost their mind if they're trying to get help, even if it was a long time ago? Or do you think maybe there's a plan involved? Why don't you think about that? Now, if you excuse me, I'm going to get back to Swan Lake. And he starts to fade away in here. Oh, damn it! Why is this the Nutcracker? And then he comes back for a second. All right, no, we're good. Comes back. Oh, great! No, this is a Christmas Carol. You just want me to play the goose in the window? No! And he fades away.
Charlie,
I am taking the +1 forward. I'm not taking the potential here.
Well, if you take the +1 forward, the +1 ongoing, that means your plan is to kill Dreamweaver, because that's what he said to do.
Well, I'm kind of at a crossroad here.
Okay, so we'll leave that.
I'm going to take it as a hold.
Yes, we'll leave this for right now, and we'll determine from later. Also, shoutouts to I love Maverick the Goose.
Drake looks at Gigi. If Enteritus couldn't destroy a crown, this thing's bad.
No, what the goose is implying is that when whoever was Enteritus went to destroy the crown, it turned him into Enteritus.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So destroying this is not a viable option, I don't think. But
What's the alternative?
we'll come up with something. We have time for now.
Do we?
I don't know.
Chase looks at you. For the record, this conversation never happened. You know nothing about it.
Which conversation?
Exactly.
No. Which conversation?
We've had
Everything
multiples.
I told you about your mother. You
Okay.
know nothing about it.
Charlie looks over. Like, why? Why are we keeping this secret at this point?
Because I'm
Before
pretty sure.
he can respond, you hear the flapping of wings,
Oh no.
and a giant crow lands in front of you.
Alex!
So Alex takes a few steps backwards, but he's staring directly at this crow. Obviously,
Gigi
Castor.
tries to step between Alex and the crow.
Relax. It's fine. I'm not going to do anything. I did invite you here after all. It would be rude of me to attack.
What do you want from us?
I've already told you what I want. The merging of the dreaming and the waking is bad. I need you to stop it.
Why is it bad?
That one I understand.
Yeah, that one's pretty.
Why is it bad for you?
That's a fair question.
Necessarily bad for me. If you want it to happen, by all means, don't do anything. But then you'll have all of the strangest and creepiest horrors from everybody's nightmares walking around. Look what happened when his dreams manifested. He
Yeah,
points
good.
to
I don't
Cobra.
want to do that again.
Partially.
Nobody
Okay.
needs-
Part of that is because he didn't have full control of his powers.
But no one's gonna have control if it happens.
Exactly. Speaking of, would you like control of your powers? And he looks over at Hilbert.
Don't trust him.
You can do it on your own, Hilbert.
I don't even have powers. That whatever that thing was when it absorbed the other powers and just ran out. I can't do it anymore. Trust me. I've tried. And Castor goes, "Oh. Well, if they're based here, then in theory I could return them."
Don't.
If you could return them, Gigi probably can too. We'll take our chances.
Very well then.
But you still haven't answered my question.
What?
Why do you want us to do this? And I am actually going to. I'll roll for this.
Oh,
You
what do you
piercing
like?
his
I'm piercing his mask.
Oh,
Yep.
nice.
Is this piercing his beak? Nice.
Nice. The boxcars.
Indeed.
Okay. You, I believe, get 3 questions.
I have to open the right page for my book, but
You do. Also, this has been a very avian episode tonight.
I guess
It has.
so the first one. What are you really planning?
You can gather by his subtext. He's planning on, in the chaos, to take the throne of the dreaming.
Is that
You know, the obvious answer to this one.
No, is that bad?
How could I get your character to remove the crown without killing Dreamweaver?
Make a deal.
And how can I gain influence over you?
Make a deal. I know they're not the best detailed answers, but that's the answer. Like,
so okay. I see what you want. I see through this. I've seen this before. There, one of my old friends, Buddy Ryu, had this guy drag him along, wanted him to beat some lord or something, and then he took over. I see what you're doing here.
you
Yeah.
do realize that
see
your
it.
friends have already figured this out, right? You really are dumb as a rock.
I have a proposal for you.
Ooh, I do like a good deal.
Alex looks over, like, careful.
But to do this, I need the exact text of the crown in my possession.
It's a crown, doesn't have text.
I think he means the text of the deal or whatever.
The text of the deal that sealed the crown on its current wearer.
She put it on her head. That's what sealed it on hers.
He wants to know what the deal is, Castor.
He asked the question of the exact wording of the deal that sealed the crown to your mother's head. She lifted it up and put it on her head. That's the deal that put it on her head.
I'm trying to figure out how...
No, wait. It wasn't the crown that did it. It was Vexian. That's right.
Okay, so what is the deal with
He
Vexian?
stops.
Oh,
And
we're
his
not supposed to say
eyes
that.
dart.
Boy.
And an evil smile comes across his face.
Oh, boy.
And as he's looking at you, two things happen. The world around you starts to swirl and get darker. And the dark energy starts to coalesce. At the same time, you hear a from behind you.
Chase!
And I have to find a quick picture here because I have it. I just didn't actually bring it up. Didn't actually set it up here. So give me uno segundo, por favor. And you see pictures. Did I get rid of that? Nope, I didn't. Okay.
Oh.
I still have it.
Yay.
And you see, once the picture loads, standing where Chase was, over his now limp body, that.
What is that?
We don't have anything.
Oh, that.
Behold!
Wow.
What is that?
Looks like a skeleton of a crow thing.
Vexion, I presume.
Castor looks at you. You just gave me all the information that I needed. So, while you're here trying to survive my nights, I'm going to be claiming what's mine. And he disappears,
No!
leaving
You cheated!
to fight the night.
Drake looks at Gigi. Trust me, I have a plan.
Huh?
Alex looks over like, really?
And the
is
Crow Knight stands there, draws his sword.
But before I explain the plan, we're going to have to deal with this.
Right. Does Chase actually look dead, or...
From where you're standing? Yes.
Remember, we're just in a nightmare.
I guess.
So, who's the party leader?
I mean, I think Drake started
Yeah,
He's got
Yeah.
the plan. He said he has the plan.
he said he had a plan.
this. I think Drake's leading this one by accident.
Yeah. Okay. Also, for record, I will spell the name. It's Vexiat.
Oh, at. I said on. Huh.
Yes, Vexiat.
I did too.
Okay, so, first things first. Drake, Do you have influence over the entire party?
I actually. Well, what is the party?
Yeah, really.
Are we considering? Who are you engaging as, OPT?
It's Alex. Charlie's just
Okay.
gonna be.
Then yes, I have influence over Alex and Gigi.
Okay. What is everybody's purpose in this fight?
There's only one Raven Knight thing, right?
Currently.
Okay, well, fight this thing and defeat it and stuff.
The same.
Yeah, crush a bird knight.
Okay. Does anybody mistrust the leader, or does the leader mistrust the rest of the team?
Not at the moment.
Drake's the leader.
Yes.
Trust
I'm
him.
pretty sure. The reason I have 4 here is because, well, I'm pretty sure you're ill-prepared and not balanced for this.
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yes. I would not argue for that.
Yes.
Somebody's already gone down. We're definitely.
So I mean, I guess the question comes to you, Jamie.
Hmm?
Do you trust Drake's plan that he said trust me on?
It is Drake's turn.
Oh, so we're saying we're saying we do trust. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Drake, you're up. Oop, 1 second. Before we
There's
start,
a cat at the door.
there's a cat at the window, so I'm going to go let the cat in. You guys want to talk amongst yourselves, you can, or we can play the ad. Your choice.
That's.
Or you can play the ad and we can talk among ourselves about how we're going to wreck this bird night.
That's a fair point.
Okay, so my plan is to get help.
Hold on. We'll be right back, everybody.
Okay, why am I here again?
Well, it's simple. You're here to promote Kestrel Crunchies. You know that cereal about your friend?
Yeah, wait, Kestrel has a cereal? Why does he get a cereal? I'm the guy who cooks everything around here. I should...
Look, I'm just the director. I don't know why the squirrel has a cereal and the otter doesn't, but he does. And you're the best one I've been told to read the ad. So, are you going to read the ad, or am I going to have to go get the guy who burns the Sudoku books?
I mean, I don't think he'd be able to... Okay, alright, fine. I'll do it. Alright, fine. Okay, but, I don't know, is this a script? Really? Why am I telling people what they taste like? I mean, I can't really taste anything, right?
Look, that's just how radio works, Lutra. I don't make the rules. Now, would you please just read the ad?
Yeah, okay. I mean, I guess, yeah, the script really isn't how I talk, though. Yeah, it says it'll give you a jolt of energy, but why would anybody need a jolt of energy? I mean, trust me, I know bad things can happen if you get addicted to things like that. It's not really a great idea.
Lutra.
Yep. Phantasm?
Lutra.
Hey. What's up? Why are you here?
Lutra, you're the one that everyone knows and recognizes. I mean, literally, you are the face of the entire Bay City area. They don't know the squirrel. You're just a spokesperson, to help him out. You're a nice guy. So I know that you don't mind helping pals out. Besides, imagine, if this takes off, you may get a spokesotter job for Swedish fish and fresh halibut. Imagine all the Swedish fish you could want.
Oh my
Just
goodness.
follow the script and get through it.
Oh my goodness, that sounds like a great... Alright, yeah, absolutely. Okay, gotcha. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Alright. Kestrel Crunchies. The super speedy way to start your day. A burst of flavor in every bite. Also a free acorn in every box. Wait, why would anybody want an acorn?
Lutra!
Oh, sorry. Kestrel Crunchies. Get your morning started like a superhero.
And cut. That's the take. I'm done. We'll fix it in editing.
Kestrel Crunchies, the official cereal of the Bay City Chronicles.
Welcome back, everybody. Sorry about the impromptu ad break. I do hope you enjoyed your Kestrel Crunchies, and please tell me
They're
if you did
delicious.
find the acorn that was in your box. If not, I'm pretty sure Kestrel got it. Anyway, the reason I had to go let the cat back inside a little bit behind the curtain is because it's 27 degrees outside, and he'd been out for 4 hours, so suffice to say he was a little cold and a little hungry. Not that I left him outside, he just didn't want to come in. Anyway, back to the bird night. Drake, your turn.
Well, Drake is gonna flex a new muscle here. He hasn't gotten to be gold in a while, so Drake is going to turn into that golden spiked hair that we saw when he first became, back when he first burned and teared us into the ground. Not quite as powerful at this moment, but and he is just going to pretty much cold cock the Bird Knight, armor and all.
Roll to directly engage a threat.
Ooh.
Somebody is rolling good tonight. Are you sure you're
I also have
afraid
a plus
of Apollo?
3. I also
No,
plus
you have a
3
+1 to that because you're afraid.
Oh. When did we? Oh, okay.
Either way, you still got a 12, so pick 2.
Well, I am going to take his armor from him, at least his helmet from him,
The
because
helmet
Drake
you
is
can
just
take. The armor you can't. The helmet you can.
Drake is completely taking the helmet off of him, destroying it in the punch. Along with, we're going to create an opportunity for our allies.
So
I did just crush your armor, dude.
So you punch the helmet off of the knight, and you see standing there the face of Chase Cassidy.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I saw that coming.
I kind of did too.
But the eyes look hollow. It doesn't look like it's like it looks like Chase, but you can tell that there's something amiss about it. So you've knocked this off, and so the Crow Knight looks at you, blank eyes,
That's a little creepy.
and just as he looks at you, Drake, because I get moves for conditions, so I'm gonna be doing condition moves a little different here. So Drake, he looks at you, his eyes hollow, and for a briefest of seconds, you black out, just super quickly. But in this blackout, you see a vision. Also, cat. That is not the vision you see. You see the Dragon Realms. And you see Dreamweaver in some ancient temple ruin. And she's reaching her hands out to grab something. And I will show you what it is here. She reaches her hand out to grab this.
Oh.
Ooh, that's a pretty
And
cool.
before you can see if she grabs it, the vision stops. Gianna,
Okay, so
the helmet got knocked off.
Gianna sees that as Chase, and she momentarily stops, but then she knows that things here aren't quite what they seem. And she also knows that they need to make good time. So she gathers up her power. You can actually see it kind of swirling over her. And she actually starts looking not so great, honestly, because she looks like she's pushing herself maybe a little bit further than she should. Because she hates calling the cavalry.
Oh boy.
Please read this move.
So when you call the allies you made beyond this world to ask them for help, mark a condition, she's marking insecure, and roll plus superior. So let's see what happens here. Because she's calling up all the friends she's made and drawn from the dreaming to form a little army to help them blow past this threat.
So Chimmy is now playing Wildfire.
This is gonna hurt so bad. Oh, it's a 6.
You got it.
Alex gets first opportunity for team because you're in the middle
Yeah.
of punching.
Right.
I don't know if I can do it.
Actually, can I steal this one for narrative purposes?
Sure, go right ahead.
Yes.
Okay. So you're sitting there and you're starting to summon all of this magical energy.
Hilbert!
Yes. And as he sees you struggling, and he just puts his hand on your shoulder. And for some reason, whatever is happening here, just the comfort of him putting his hand on your shoulder sort of expands this out. Drake and Alex and Charlie, you see as he puts his hand on her shoulder, the aura that was radiating through Gianna now extends to encompass Hilbert as well.
Oh.
I told her she could do it.
Yeah.
And you are able to summon some of this army. What happens when you roll a 7 to 9?
7 to 9, they're dragging along their own problem.
Okay.
What in the world does that look like here?
Drake is now instantly nervous about the giant wolf standing behind him, I would imagine.
No, it's not a wolf. It's not a wolf. Not
It's a
yet.
night-
Oh.
Nope. So you hear basically a thunderous stampede, and you see the full gamut of the Gianna army. Sassy, Mr. Moth,
Oh.
Nessie,
Go like through the world.
like all of them. And for a minute, it's fantastic. And then you look beyond them over the horizon. There is just this straight, like, line of violet charging behind them. And as you look,
That's bad.
it's an army of these small, fairy-like creatures armed with violet staves chasing after them.
Are
Uh-oh.
they on our side?
I'm gonna say
I don't
no.
think so. And I think you've just escalated this.
So, what I will say is, because I haven't given you guys a full lot of lore about the dreaming, just enough that when you asked, there are denizens of the dreaming. A lot of them aren't necessarily harmful, they're more mischievous. However, when weaponized, they can be harmful. The most common denizen of the dreaming are these mischievous fae sprites. What they like to do is they like to travel on dream waves to people and steal their dreams. They're dream thieves.
Okay.
What does that even look like?
When you have a
Well-
dreamless night, maybe?
Dream thieves, if done malevolently, will give people who are struggling dreamless night, a nice dreamless sleep. Dream thieves, when done, malevolently, as opposed to benevolently,
Right.
is what is a nightmare.
Oh, okay.
So the violet energy, Gianna, you know that the violet energy is nightmare energy.
Why not my favorite color?
So they're basically being chased by an army of nightmare dream thieves.
Oh, that's bad.
No, I have an idea. I have an idea.
But you did get the opening to call them. So they will be here to help you guys in about a round. Basically, next time we get to Gianna, they'll be here. But you did call. All right. Alex.
So, Alex. Yeah.
Best thing I can say is that just happened.
Yeah, agreed. So Alex is kind of looking over at this and like, oh boy. He turns his head back towards the former Raven, now Chase, like Hollow Knight, whatever. He stands there. He's like, well, I guess there's only one thing left to do. Pulls out Morpher. Let's see if I remember how to do this. Oh, right. Red Dragon! So, you guys see him. It's a little more, like, flashy this time. As the suit and whatnot form around him. And you've noticed something. He's made it fit, but it's not skin-tight fit now. Thank his mother for that one. So...
Yes, his mother called him fat.
So, second thing Alex is going to do is something I haven't been able to do in a very long time. Alex is going to put his game face on.
Ooh.
Game face. When you commit yourself to save someone or defeat a terrible enemy, mark a condition and take +1 ongoing to all rolls in direct pursuit of that goal. At the end of any scene in which you don't make progress to that goal, mark a condition. And when you fulfill your goal, mark potential. I'm going to be 1, angry, and 2, my goal is to defeat this horrific thing.
Okay.
Okay.
That works. So
I marked angry.
angry seems good here.
Oh yeah, that's partially why I wanted to do this. So anyway, so Alex then, or Red Dragon, I should say, takes a moment to do his posing thing, and then just jumps directly at this thing with just this a Chuck Norris style roundhouse kick, except that it's also a jumping roundhouse kick, right to the head.
All right, roll to directly engage a threat.
I got. You want the extra one?
That'd be nice, yeah.
So when Drake knows that Alex is going to pose, so he hops in the pose with him, and then helps by launching him up into the roundhouse.
Nice.
Nice.
So we have what's the spinning hurricane kick?
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have a hurricane kick.
Yes, we do.
Alrighty.
Perfect.
Choose two.
All right. So this time Alex is going to avoid blows, and he's going to create an opportunity for his allies.
Okay, let's do that. So you kick and kick and kick. Basically, you spin kick, and for the briefest of second, you see the face of Chase flash away, and you think you catch a glimpse of this jet black hair, but you're not entirely sure.
Oh.
And then you get the whole blackout thing for a second. And in this vision, you see your house.
Okay.
And your mother is taking a nap on the couch. And everything seems normal. And then out of the corner of your eye, climbing in through the window, you see a little sprite with a violet-tipped staff. And you get out of the vision.
So he, looks down, looks over at the guy, like, what's that supposed to mean?
Drake.
Yeah.
Your turn. You've been set up.
So Drake is actually going to do something a little odd.
When?
Now, Drake is going to grab Charlie
Okay.
and drag him over to Gigi.
What are you doing, Drake?
Kind of in the middle of something.
Charlie's not able to help us at the moment. We've got Red Dragon. We've got you. We've got me.
Are you dragging Charlie?
Yes.
Okay.
Charlie looks at you like, what are you talking about?
He was sort of standing there in shock watching his older self die.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Put him to sleep.
What?
Put him to sleep.
Charlie looks at you for a second, and then you get the look, like he looks at you and realizes exactly what your plan is.
Put him to sleep, Gigi.
Mrs. Robinson, do it.
So
He would call
At
it
that-
Gianna.
Gianna kind of stops, like, she's still charging like her little energy thing, and she reaches up to Charlie and says, I hope this works. And she puts it on his forehead.
Roll to unleash your powers.
Oh, there are problems with this.
Do you have
Um,
influence over? Do you have influence over Charlie?
I do.
She should.
Make sure you add +1.
Yeah.
Charlie Alexander. I will need it. Okay.
I think it makes sense that I'm using the team here.
Okay, yeah.
Well, or Teach, go ahead if you've got something else.
How are you using the team here?
I'm holding Charlie down.
I was just
He's
saying
agreeing with it, so that's not really using
Well,
team.
fair enough. Okay. Then,
Um,
yeah, it has to be Alex or Hilbert then. I
Hilbert's
think it has
gonna
to be Hilbert.
step up again, and the aura around him. What color is the aura that normally goes around Gigi?
Usually I imagine it being a violet aura.
Okay, just a different shade of violet.
Brighter.
More on the lavender side of violet.
Makes sense.
Apparently, Nora just did something because I didn't make a pun to get that face.
Huh.
So he breaks off from you and also puts his hand on Charlie's forehead. And his aura glows like this, almost like deep blue / purple. And Charlie, boom. And then he looks at you, turns around, smiles. You worry about this. I'll take care of the Army of Lights.
Wait, who says that?
Hilbert. And full-on Animorph shapeshifts into
Wow.
the fully colored form of the spirit dog that you saw earlier. For purposes, so you all know what I'm talking about, he basically just wild shaped into a Mighty Anna.
Nice.
And you just hear this echoing, "Awoo!" And he goes bounding and jumps over your army of friends and just starts going, and he just stands up. He's like full lycanthrope at this point, just basically, you know, the end of Prisoner of Azkaban,
Yes.
where werewolves just go into town.
Yeah.
That's what's happening right now.
Nice.
See, Gigi? I told you could unlock his powers.
I believed.
So, Drake,
Yes.
because it's not my job to narrate, it's your job to narrate one of your ideas. What exactly is your plan for Charlie?
Well, my plan for Charlie was for him to deal with the dreaming sprites that are now getting torn to shreds. So that's not a problem anymore.
Yeah, you look again, and as it looks like Hilbert's getting overwhelmed, you see just like this dream version of Charlie show up. And I say dream version because it's the like idealized, like this is what a superhero is supposed to look like version. Like white meat, baby face, just show up, banshee scream, and basically it's a horror show happening as the banshee and the werewolf are kicking the crap out of this army of mischievous fairies.
They're so awesome.
That worked.
That did work.
And more than anything, I was using my turn to get the army here that Gigi summoned.
Correct.
Yep.
Gigi, you now have an army.
We have a Hulk.
He's over there kicking the crap out of some.
Yeah. We have an army and a Hulk. Deal with it.
I can't believe you did that. As that's happening, like Hilbert like leaps over them. Sassy just kind of comes by with Gigi, and she kind of just points over at the ebony-haired Chase Cassidy, and she just kind of goes, "Sassy, everybody, now charge!" And She's gonna like do a big seismic punch on the back of Sassy, backed by all of her buddies.
We just got like the Power Ranger weapon fusion punch happening here. Roll to directly engage a threat.
I would reference the Captain Commando super, but I'm sure nobody would understand what I'm talking about.
That's even a stretch for me.
I love that super so much. Okay, directly engage. Oh, dear.
There is not enough team.
There is not.
So you go to punch, and the face that was Chase turns into the ebony-haired boy and smiles and holds up a hand, and the seismic punch hits it. And for the first time since I think he talked to you, Alex, in the school, he speaks.
Oh, jeez.
Did you really think that I couldn't control denizens of the dreaming? Please. And as he holds the hand, he just unsheaths the sword and slashes at you. Please roll to take a powerful blow.
I'm afraid to look.
Can
Can
I try?
There it is. There it is.
No, because you didn't say anything before she rolled.
I was trying to ponder how I was going to do it, but that's
all you have to say is, "Can I attempt?" And yes.
I was
literally saying that, and then Nora interrupts me.
We were both trying to jump in.
So, Gianna.
Did we want to let them jump in? I'd hate to be
Dude,
rude.
you rolled the dice. It's over.
Oh.
Yes.
You did.
She was fun.
You done dead.
This is actually probably the opportune time to do this. Losing control of herself and her powers in a terrible way, considering that these are all of her powers right next to her.
So, again, since we're on the Final Fantasy VII reference train tonight, this is the calm flashback where Sephiroth just goes slashy, slashy, and Tifa goes bouncy, bouncy, bouncy down the stairsy, wheresy. So that happens because you're riding on Sassy. You just get slashed, and you bounce, bounce. Your cloak cut down the side.
Oh, dear. And Gianna looks awful, by the way.
Yeah. And you sort of stand up staggering, and you look, and you've seen this once before. All of your friends have now turned and are facing you with bright red eyes.
Oh, it's coming true!
And the ebony-haired boy looks and goes, just remember, the longer you take here, the worse your mother's chances are. Alex, you're up.
Okay, so Alex knows the perfect magic spell for this.
What?
Yes. It's an amazingly complicated spell called Punch. As he just cocks his fist back and just like slams this thing right in the face, beak, wherever the heck it is. It's a 9. Good enough for me to resist or avoid, and that's all I'm doing.
Okay, so you look and you just leap over the army of new Gianna friends, or old Gianna friends, and just punch him square in, well, as you said, the beak.
Yeah.
The nose in this case. And he looks at you. And your punch actually drops him to a knee.
Oh.
And he smiles. You're too late. You can't stop it all. Do you save your friends in the waking? Or do you go to the Dragon Realms and save her mother? And in a poof,
Hey,
he disappears along with all of Gianna's summons. You look, and Banshee and Werewolf there's just a graveyard of violet staves just littered on the ground. They come walking back up. The Banshee floats back into Charlie's body. He wakes up. Hilbert does the down on all fours thing, starts walking, starts slowly doing the shapeshift back up and turns back into himself, reaches into his pocket, punches the inside of the hat, and puts the wolf-eared fedora back on.
Guys, just said something that's really bugging me. Just said, like, you're too late. Either save your friends in the dreaming or go to the dragon realm.
No, he said in the waking.
Waking, sorry. I knew that. I know I had a vision of one of those purple things attacking my mother.
I think my vision's a little bit more pressing.
What's yours?
It was Dreamweaver holding what I have to assume is the dragon's crown.
We can't be in two places at once, or can we?
I think we can, but we're going to have to move fast.
Gianna, by the way, is like on her hands and knees, and she's actually openly weeping.
Gianna,
It's too late.
It's not too late.
it's never too late. And Drake is rolling the comfort and support.
7 to 9, they hear you. They can mark potential, shift their labels, or clear a condition if they open up to you.
So Gianna kind of looks up at Drake and says, "You understand, this was my nightmare. All my friends, and all of them turning against us. And then all of you being in danger, and my mom, and everything's coming true, and I just know that this isn't going to end well."
If we go with the plan that I've got, I think it will.
Drake.
Yeah.
I trust you, but I don't think we're going to be able to save everybody.
Yes, we will. Drake, what's your plan?
We're going to let Castor take the crown.
Okay, that's a stupid plan.
And we're going to kill him.
But then who gets the crown after that?
We'll deal with that after.
There's...
But it saves Gigi's mother.
Does it?
Remember that Chase said that she had to willingly give up the crown or you had to kill her.
Or finish the terms of the deal, or whatever the heck that was.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But if we're able to show her that Gigi and Hilbert are safe with us, maybe she'll be willing to give up the crown to Castor, and we can kill him.
I don't think she'd be willing to give the crown to Castor.
We just have to trick her.
Well, what about everybody in the Waking? He just said, and for some odd reason I believe this, that it's either one or the other.
If we save the people in the dreaming, we'll save the world in the waking.
Are you sure about that?
Albert looks.
Well,
Gianna, send us back. Looks at him and Charlie. We'll find your friend Rebound and Flo and anyone else, and we'll save them there. You worry about the Dragon Realms.
Check our parents, too. Like mine, hers, everyone's.
Of course.
we have help. We're not alone.
We're not alone. Oh, and Gianna's got to clear hope.
And actually, Drake is going to send one more communique. with Charlie. Go to the next gen facilities. Get us help.
You know I will.
Oh, that's a good idea. Gigi looks up at them and she gets back on her feet and she nods. She's all right. Hilbert? Charlie?
Go to the
Be
Dragon
safe.
Realms. Yep. And Hilbert looks at Charlie, nods, does the transformation again. This time, the fedora hat sinks into him, and the wolf ears show up. Just gets down on all fours, and Charlie looks. OPT, how would Charlie react to basically being told to ride the giant werewolf dog?
So he would probably be like, you know what? Considering everything he's just seen, he'd probably just jump right on and be like, "Go!"
Yeah. So they go over. He's and Hilbert scoops up Chase's body,
Oh yeah, that too.
throws him on the back, and they just start running. And you're not sure how this happens, but basically, just he starts running, and portal from the dreaming opens up, and they just whoop run through it. We get a panel in the waking that is them, like that is Wolf, Hilbert, Chase's unconscious, maybe dead body, and Charlie appearing from a portal because they said they're going to go get help. They appear in poor Hunter's bedroom, scaring the crap out of him, nearly getting a boomerang to the face. And we just get a panel of, what the heck? And you see Hunter, you see on the wall just a crazy collection of comically large Fun Dip buckets.
I feel like as they run through his bedroom, Charlie's.
Well, then they appear and they just look, and Charlie says whatever he needs to, and Hunter's like, okay, throws the mask on, grabs the briefcases full of boomerangs, and they're just riding on Hilbert the wolf.
Yeah, all Charlie would say is, "Mr. Partlow, get on! We're saving everyone!"
And like I will say, one of Hunter's drives is drive a fantastical vehicle. His transformed friend, who he doesn't know is transformed, counts.
That is fair.
He's driving a werewolf.
This happens.
Yes. So while that's going on, Drake is looking at Gigi. We have to go.
Where do we go?
We have to go to the Dragon Realm.
How do we get there?
Well, I think we either go to my house or we open a tear here using me.
Using you.
I'm a dragon inside the dreaming. This should work the other way around.
Right. It's true.
So if I lay down and take a nap, you should be able to open from my dream Dragon Realm.
Right. That's assuming my mom is already there.
I wouldn't put it past her. But more than anything, we have help.
Yeah.
We're not alone. We have to get there.
Okay.
Drake.
Yeah.
You know that just like Gianna can tear a hole into the dreaming, you need to be the one to tear the hole into the dreaming.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No, but your idea is fine. Like, yeah, I'm just telling you. You know that you could walk into the Dragon Realms from the closet in the nondescript house because that was the entrance to your sanctuary. And the sanctuary had access to the Dragon Realms. Right. You also know you are capable of getting in and out of the Dragon Realms because you've teleported from them into freaking Alex's mind.
Oh yeah,
that is true.
So scratch what I just said.
Okay.
And I'll roll unleash my powers if I need to here.
You definitely need to.
Okay, so I'm going to roll it first.
Well, hold that thought. Hold that thought. Because
Of all the wonderful things he does?
Yes.
Yes, I just tickered you.
Actually can reflavor a move I have.
Interesting.
Yes. And that's what I'm going to do.
Okay, that works for me.
We're going to reflavor a custom move.
I like custom moves.
Mm-hmm.
Usually end badly for me, though. Maybe I don't want this one.
Okay. Okay. When you jump from plane to plane, designate a jump master and they roll plus superior.
Oh, that's bad.
Let me finish.
All right, go ahead.
On a 10 plus 2, choose. On a 7 to 9, choose 1 plus 1 of the negative options. On a miss, choose 1 off the positive list, however, both negative options occur. However, in lieu of spending team, the way this move works, I don't have it written down here, but your team can help you in the form of spending team by marking a condition to give you the +1. So after the roll, the one team can be spent, but for anyone who wants to spend a condition to add +1, they can.
So I think I'm going to... GM question.
You cannot as the jump master.
No. GM question here, though.
Yes.
We have the hold. Since I have changed the target of that thing that the goose said, may I use my +1 here if I need it?
Because your plan is to kill the person who will have the crown by convincing Dreamweaver to give it up to Caster. Because your plan is to listen to the goose just to subvert the target. That counts as listening to the goose. So yes, you may have the +1 ongoing in pursuit of that.
All right.
Okay. I'm going to show this move because it's a little convoluted.
And I'm going to roll it.
A little?
Try.
Yes.
And I'm just going to hit the 8 on the... I'm going to nut the 8 on my own.
Okay. So
really, that's a 9.
If someone wants to spend, team can be spent, yes.
Well, no, it's a 9 because I get the +1 on going forward.
So we have the team. If someone wants to spend the team to help to push this to a 10, that's probably a good idea.
Okay, so how...
GG would be the most likely.
Yeah.
So let me describe how I'm going to rip the tear open, and then you decide how you want to help. So Drake had depowered after the fight. You see his hair start to glow again, and he goes golden. And he takes his his hand kind of turns into that more lizardy hand with a sharp claw and just rips a hole in the sky in the dreaming. Just cuts a hole.
Jeez. So, as Gianna sees Drake doing this, and he is interacting with the dreaming, she's going to mark Opus as she walks up there.
No, you don't have to. There's one team left that was able to spend. So this is just spending normal team.
Oh, thank goodness. Yes, I will spend the normal team. And so, yeah, she'll spend she'll walk up there, and where Drake is coming from the top, she'll focus her energy, and this purple energy starts enveloping her hands, and she starts tugging from the bottom to create like a tear. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. So on a 10 plus... Go ahead.
So Alex is watching all this and just like, I have 2 friends who can rip holes into reality. What am I doing?
Alex is all of a sudden having a superiority complex.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what happens when you play the fighter in the group with the sorcerer and the wizard.
Right? It's like all I do is punch and kick things and shoot things with laser guns.
All I do is punch. Okay, so on a 10 plus, choose 2. You have 4 options here. You land somewhere safe and have a brief chance to observe the opposition. You land somewhere unexpected, gain a distinct advantage. The GM will describe what that is. you land right on top of someone, or you're able to notice something strange.
Jamie,
Yes.
since we're doing this together, which two do you think we should take?
After you guys decide this, can I be your mode of transportation? Because I've got a great idea.
Oh, yes, 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 yes.
Well, yes.
I would
So-
probably suggest the somewhere safe to have a chance to observe.
Okay. I was thinking that, and I was also thinking the unexpected,
Okay.
the second
Okay.
one. All right, so those are the two we'll take, the first two.
So, as they're doing all this, we've already established that being a Power Ranger, Alex can summon a motorcycle with 2 sidecars out of nowhere. So, after they do that, Alex just drives by, grabs both of them, throws them in the sidecars, and we just plow through this hole.
Okay. So you're going to land somewhere safe and unexpected. Okay. So you jump through this and you go into the Dragonlands. And the last time you all were here, well, at least a couple of you were here. Can't remember if Alex was there, if it was Charlie at this point.
I think it was Charlie.
It's Charlie.
So Drake and Gianna will recognize where you land. You are on the roof of the pagoda that you climbed where you fought Interitus. You know, the last time that Gianna's friends turned against her. Seems to be,
That's a lot.
it does.
It
really.
does, actually.
You know, if I had a nickel for every time, I mean, I only have 10 cents, but it's strange that it's happened twice.
Yes, it is.
So you land on the roof of this pagoda. So you have a chance to observe what's going on. I'll explain the advantage afterwards. Okay? So you look around and you see that the land is in chaos. There are armies of the smaller pixies fighting kobolds and wormlings. There are bigger dragons fighting these nightmarish monstrosities from the Dreaming. There are what appear to be like dragonborn foot soldiers fighting an army of those crow knights that you saw. And then you hear a roar, gut-wrenching, guttural, distinct. And you look down, and in the middle of this plain, with all this fighting going around it, there's an altar. And Drake, that crown-like thing, a coronet, technically a coronet, you saw Dreamweaver reaching for, has been placed on this altar. And suddenly, up from the ground, wearing what that object is, it's called the Horde Keeper's Coronet. Basically, it's the Dragon Realm's version of the Hellfire Crown of the Somnolent Crown. Wearing it, emblazoned on top of its head. Well, I don't want to give you the name of that quite yet, so let me just put question on that title card here.
Aww.
Is that?
It's adorable. Look at it. It's smiling.
How is it adorable?
Oh, it's got like 3 eyes.
Drake goes ghostly white when he sees this.
Drake, what is that?
Drake can't even speak.
So it is facing, its back is to you. It lets out a roar. At least to Alex and Gianna, it seems like a roar. Drake, you hear this thing yelling in Draconic.
Ooh.
And it's basically you hear it saying, "Come to me, my armies. We defend the Dragon Realms." And they all sort of stop. and then they renew their attack with an increased fervor and almost unearthly bloodlust.
Drake, is that thing on our side or their side?
That's what I was going to ask.
And then you see this thing look down at the altar and look at Dreamweaver.
Oh, she's there?
She's the one who put the crown on the altar.
Yep.
And just engulfs her in a fiery breath.
Mom!
The advantage that you are going to have is that this thing does not know you are there. So basically, if I'm to use a D&D terminology, you get a surprise round. So when you fight this, you'll be able to get a round of attacks off before it knows you're there.
Here I was thinking our advantage was the GM got distracted by a cat.
No, I'm used to this. I'm used to
I mean,
this.
that's normal.
So, here is the question I have for you as players.
Uh-huh.
Do we want to go into this battle as it is 10:51, or do we want to cliffhang this and do in media res next week?
I'm good for a little while.
Okay.
But, I mean, there's two people here.
I mean, I never have anything to do, so.
I'll be good.
Okay. So first things first. This is going into battle against the dangerous foe as a team. Cat, I need my mouse. Who is the leader?
I would say Drake, because this is his place.
Yeah, I agree.
We're like on his turf at this point.
It's no longer my turf.
Well, you know. It's more yours than anybody else's. Alex is just a transport.
We already determined that Drake has influence over everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only difference this time is that we're not off balance.
Right. Well, I do need to know what everybody's goal is.
Actually, I am going to say this. Drake is off balance.
Fair.
Drake knows who this is.
I need
And
to know what everybody's goal is.
Drake's goal is to end this now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And by this, I mean the big thing.
Gianna's goal is to save her mother.
Hey, Teach, can you do me a
Not
favor?
necessarily mutually exclusive.
Yeah.
Teach, can you do me a favor?
What?
Can you move the purr bucket away from the mic?
I heard that too.
No, I
enjoying
can't.
it.
I can move the mic away from the purr bucket, though.
I was enjoying it partially. So.
Alex's goal is to fight everything Drake's fighting, so.
Okay.
Because he doesn't really know what's going on, but he knows Drake's about to fight something, so he's just going to follow Drake.
All right. So, you guys have 14. And before, can you see the name edit I just did?
No.
No.
Okay.
Repushed it.
I'm going to repush it.
Oh, there you go. Oh.
This
And that's why Drake is not happy.
is the true form of Enteritus. If you remember, the Enteritus you were fighting was a soulless being looking for a host body.
He found a host body.
He found the power of the Horde Keeper's crown.
Fair.
So,
So why is he ordering everyone to fight? Oh, because he wants the power, of course. Never mind.
let me,
his realm.
real quick, I will tell you why. I'll tell you why. A vibrant silver coronet adorned with dragon's breath opals. This coronet gives the wearer the ability to unite the dragon realms.
Ah.
It's been a millennia since this has been seen, and there hasn't been someone worthy enough to unite the realms properly since the first holy dragon.
Gotcha. So if he gets that, he's going to have...
He has it. He's wearing it.
Oh, I thought...
That's what revived him.
Okay. I thought the thing was still on the... Okay.
On the altar?
So
Yeah, I'm
Drake
confused.
would know the legends about the crown, though.
Which is
So
why
what's
I'm
on
telling you this.
what's
Also,
on the
you
altar then?
yeah. Also, you would know that the first holy dragon was Ryu.
So what is on the altar?
Nothing. now.
Nothing. It's now been engulfed in fire.
Okay.
Okay.
So so Drake finally is able to catch his breath, and he's kind of muttering, "It's It's in Tyrannus again.
So Alex, you can't see his eyes widen because he's got the helmet on. So he like does the exaggerated like look over, like, what?
The head shake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
As I said, mechanically, he doesn't know you're there.
Right.
So what I'm going to do for that mechanically is everyone's going to get a +1 forward to any roll directly affecting Interinus for the first round.
So, Drake's going to kind of huddle together with everyone.
Oh.
The good news is he's no longer a dragon.
What does that mean? What's that do for us?
I don't believe he can successfully reunite the clans.
Okay.
But
Why is there a bot?
well, there's a cat bot.
Yeah.
But some clans will respect the crown over the Kaiser.
Oh boy.
So we've got a couple of things we've got to do. One, we've got to figure out what happened to Minerva.
Well, she's down there in the flames.
She's on fire right now.
Right.
She's on fire.
No. I'll take care of her. She's my mom.
Okay. Alex,
Yep.
I will distract this annoying thing,
Just tell me what to punch.
the crown.
Alex,
Get it?
Okay.
Is it? Well, actually, question here: is the crown embedded in him at this point, or is it just on him?
Basically, it's embedded in him. It's basically that third eye you see.
Okay.
Alex?
Alex points at Interis. Punch it.
Got it.
Alex, I have a question.
What's your question?
Do you need your motorcycle anymore?
No.
Good. I'm going to borrow it.
That's fine. Oh, here's the keys. Toss it.
It takes keys. Right. Got it.
So
Yeah, you never
Drake's-
see me. You never see me put them in because they're always just there. But you know, just take them.
So Drake's going to act first in this just because of the distraction piece. Drake, since we're behind him, is going to jump on Interis' back and surf down the spines
Okay.
around his tail and grab his tongue and pull it as he goes swinging through the air.
All right. Roll to directly annoy a threat.
Oh, dear!
Ouch.
Did you add your +1 forward?
No. So that's a 5.
I mean,
think-
if you want to spend team, you can. Otherwise, I will address this afterwards because I said you all extra get a surprise round, so you're all going to do your action before I address. What happened.
Actually, hold on. That would be a 6 because I still get +1 forward from my.
This is not
This is
part
not
of your +1
part of my
ongoing.
+1. Okay.
Right. Because this is not directly related to the somnolent crown.
All right.
Actually, hold on. I want to change. Can I change that real quick? I forgot I have a move.
You have a move.
Fight the good fight.
I need to ask you this question.
Yes.
Would Drake be pulling his punches against Interinus?
At this moment, yes. Drake specifically said he was being a distraction.
Oh, he did.
He did say that.
I'm trying for kitty cat.
Okay,
He's not
so-
helping me.
So we'll re-roll that correctly in just a second. Let me read it. Wrong one.
When you pull your punches against an opponent, roll plus savior and plus danger. You cannot choose to impress, surprise, or frighten them.
Okay. Actually, never mind. We'll just leave it as it. We'll say that I used it, but I rolled danger instead on accident because it was the higher one anyway. It doesn't give me anything except for a reroll.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry about the camera movement, guys. I was trying to be cute with the cat.
Oh.
And the cat decided it was going to be a cat.
He's literally at the one spot where neither of my camera angles can actually get him.
Aw.
Where
Oh my
cat
gosh,
looks
he's
beyond.
hugging the banana.
Aw.
That poor cat. All right, so deal with everyone else and then come back and wreck my world.
All right, so Alex, we'll do you next.
Okay, so Alex was told to go punch the big demon-esque thing called Enteritus. So that's what he's going to do. He's going to jump. He's going to jump up, and actually, he's not going to punch him. What he's going to do is he's going to, because every Power Ranger, especially every Red Ranger, has one of these. He's going to manifest a sword because again, always have one of these. He's going to jump on Enteritus' head and try to basically jam that thing into his skull.
Okay. Roll to directly engage a threat.
Yep. Boom.
That's a full hit.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, and your +1 forward just makes that even better and sexier.
What +1 forward?
The +1 forward you're getting for this surprise round, basically.
I completely forgot that, so that's the 12. Doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it doesn't matter.
right. So,
it's just sexier.
right. So, Alex is going to resist or avoid his blows, and I can't take the crown from him, I'm assuming.
No, the crown you cannot take, which is why I specifically said it was part of him.
But since I've stabbed him in the head, is it possible? I want to take out one of his eyes.
He's got 3 of them, so
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, Bears.
Yeah.
You
So
can't-
instead,
the big one you cannot take out.
Right.
You can absolutely stab a
but
sword. through him.
oh yeah. So instead of stabbing through the head, I just impale one of his eyes.
Okay. You hear, I'm not going to scream because I don't want to be that guy, but you hear this god-awful scream.
Mm-hmm.
And that will file into what happens to Drake when we get to that. But Gigi, what are you doing?
So Gigi, for one, is learning how to drive a motorbike.
Okay.
There's
trying to get
instructions in the sidecar.
This crystal thing to like
You look,
go in and turn on.
may I?
Go for it.
You get to the bike with the keys, and Chibi is in the driver's seat and points to the sidecar. He goes,
I won't question this. She hops in.
he's got a leather jacket on, leather chaps,
Goggles.
riding goggles,
Yes.
an old school helmet, and the next thing
Does
you
he
know,
have a driving sock? He's got to have a driving sock.
Yeah.
no, and you look, and then you sit down. He reaches into your poof, pulls out basically a motorcycle booster seat, and sits on it, and then revs.
Hey, somehow he also has one of the power crystals that start that thing because Alex probably just threw him one.
All right, Chibi. All of our other friends, they got taken. So we need some new friends. And she points down towards the sea of like these different sides fighting. She points towards the collection of fairies. They're like charging against the different dragons. And she's like, we need to get them. And so as they're rocketing forward, what she's going to try to do is she's reaching out with her powers, and she's basically trying to, I guess, psychically lasso these fairies in the sense of like exert her and influence over the dreaming to get them to follow her and do what she asks.
Okay, I have a very important question.
Yes.
What are the options that Come On Lucky helps you with?
Come on, Lucky, specifically, he is a support Chibicabra.
Right, so we know he helps with comfort and support.
Comfort support, unleash!
That's the one I wanted to hear.
Yes.
So your +1 forward isn't going to apply because that was specifically directed towards attacking Enteritus.
All right.
So you're not going to +1 forward for that, but you do get the +1 forward for Chibi driving the motorcycle into the army of fairies so you can psychically lasso them so you get a new army.
I like it. I'm going to need this +1.
That's a
Lost army.
sentence I just
Let's make a
said.
new one.
15!
Holy!
Well
We have a
then,
new army.
Ah,
So here's if you don't mind me here.
go for it.
So Chibi flies down, and basically it's like the drag, like the kobolds and stuff are trying to run towards, like they're doing the whole like animated run through thing, and you land in front of them. doing the weird like motorcycle landing thing. It's a Power Ranger motorcycle, so basically you don't land in the middle of this. You land and just wipe out every kobold who was there.
Sorry.
You turn and look at the fairies, and Chibi just goes, and they just start cheering like you gave a Spartacus speech, and you now have an army of dream thieves.
And she points towards Intera to see and where her mom is burning. It's like, charge!
Right.
This is the Dreamland.
Right.
This is Chibi!
Chibi kiss!
And so basically, Chibi has set this to autopilot. Gianna is in the sidecar, and the picture of George Washington crossing Delaware was at the front of the boat with the knee up. Chibi's on the front of the motorcycle with the knee up, yelling "Charge!" as the motorcycle rolls into battle with the army of dream sprites behind him.
I like this.
If Enteradus is going to take a powerful blow at some point. But speaking of powerful blows,
right?
So Gianna has an army. So Drake, you were successful in your distraction. You gave Alex a free shot. The problem is Alex stabbed the damn thing in the eye, so you pull the tongue, and you forget to let go when he lurches back.
Ooh.
So he basically, if I'm using a D&D feat term, he's using snatch and swallow.
Oh God.
That
So
sounds
he just
awful.
pulls you back in the mouth, and then realizes you haven't showered in like 3 days, and just spits you out into the side of the mountain. Please take a powerful blow.
when you take a powerful blow from someone with far greater power than you, never give up, never surrender.
Ooh.
Yes.
Use this move instead. On the
This
basic
will definitely count.
roll plus savior. On a hit, you stand strong and choose one. On a 7 to 9, mark a condition.
Nice.
Huh.
All right, on a hit, you stand strong and choose one.
I'm going to rally from the hit, and it inspires the team. Add one team to the pool. So
How?
you see Drake slam into the mountain, and you just see this huge explosion. And the next thing you know, Drake has now transformed. He didn't transform to begin with, but he is now back in his Kaiser form, floating in front of the mountain, arms crossed, just absolutely ready to go to town.
Real quick. Okay, nope, that's a thing. All right, cool. That happened.
He does the rock thing of he's like he's totally taunting Enteradus right now. Like, that's all you got.
That's awesome. Okay. First of all, I'm just loving the epic scale that this is happening on. This is fantastic. Alex, we're gonna move to you.
Okay.
You just stabbed this thing in the eye. It just basically ignored you, screamed in pain, attempted to swallow Drake, and then had stomach pains and spit him into a mountain.
See. So.
That was the heartburn part of nausea, indigestion, upset stomach.
Right.
If we got into diarrhea, that would have been bad.
Yes.
Right.
Very bad.
Yes, his 5 conditions are heartburn, nausea, indigestion, upset stomach, and diarrhea. Instead of angry, afraid, insecure, hopeless, and guilty.
Somewhere.
I was gonna say, Alex throws a bottle of Pepto in his mouth. No.
So the picture of Galactus was accurate. Okay.
Right. All right. So All right, so Alex pulls his sword out, and he sees all this. So as Enteradus like spits out Drake, Alex is gonna jump off the guy's head, grab a hold of said tongue and slice it off.
You can try. Roll to directly engage a tongue.
This is not Rick's channel.
This is not Rick's channel.
That's 12.
It is 12.
That tongue has been directly engaged.
I'm going to resist, and I'm taking that thing off his mouth. If I can.
So, you can. Can you fly?
Oh, no, not at all. Well, actually, wait, no, he's a Power Ranger. Of course he can somehow.
He can with style.
I can fall with style.
Yeah.
Because you grabbed onto the tongue,
Mhm.
and now you're slicing it off. So you've lost your what you were hanging to.
Oh, yeah. No, this is clearly part of the plan, so, yeah.
He's gonna hero land, he's fine.
Yeah, Hero Land.
We'll address that part of the plan in a bit. But, so Drake, you're there in this, and, well, you've made Enteritus very angry. So he's going to retaliate by flailing, and, so I kid you not, I'm going to pull this up here, and I had a little fun with Enteritus Reborn's moves.
Uh-huh.
One of them, anyone who knows anything about D&D will get a kick out of. One of his moves is Claw, Claw, Bite.
Huh.
The standard attack rate for a dragon. But
Right.
the other attack, which is the one I'm using here to, and I'll explain why in a minute, is a nice little Warcraft reference. Watch the bleeping tail. So he, in this rash of anger, just flails his tail. Right? And crashes his tail into the mountain where Drake was. And from a mechanical perspective, you did just cut out his tongue. From a mechanical perspective, you've basically nerfed his breath weapon.
Yay.
But Drake, the mountain you're in just collapses. So you're in dragon form, you can fly, but your majestic coming out of the rubble is just immediately destroyed by just the entire mountain collapsing. And real quick, before we continue, I'm going to need both Gianna and Drake, or in this case, Chammy and Nora, to roll me d20s.
Okay.
Just so I know which side is winning, the Dreaming or the Dragons.
Well then,
The Dreaming is overwhelming the Dragon forces right now. Makes sense considering Enteritus is getting his butt whipped by, as far as they know, getting his butt whipped by a human in a red spandex suit.
Yeah.
So their morale is
I was
kind
gonna
of
say
low.
their morale has to be pretty low right now.
Their morale is kind of low. Let me put a mark here.
Like, wait, seriously, dude? Like, you really?
Yeah. So
and Drake sees the tongue, and so Drake, we'll kind of we're gonna fudge this a little bit. So he slashes the tongue. Drake slams into the mountain again as he smashes the mountain. Drake comes out again of the mountain. This, you see the shoot of Drake shoot out of the clouds. You see the clouds shoot out. Drake sits there and sees the tongue and Alex and is kind of just looking at Enteritus going, really? You just had to slice his tongue off? That was it? That's all you had to... I've been fighting this guy for...
Clan's been fighting this guy forever. You just cut his tongue off? What?
Enteritus looks at you, Drake, and is now more interested in fighting Alex. So Enteritus looks at you and just backhands you and swats you like a fly.
Oh.
So it's just him and Alex. Gianna, it's your turn.
What state is Dreamweaver in?
You don't
say
know.
name.
You haven't got there yet. You
Okay.
got an army last turn.
Right. Well, she's currently motorcycling on with that army behind, towards the side of the battle and the altar, which I think is nearby.
Yes.
And her mom was last engulfed in flames there, so she's coming up on that.
So the flames are still going because it's a pretty potent breath weapon.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to see what's happening, you have to go through the fire and flames.
Okay. Well, she absolutely will. riding through a wall of flames on a motorcycle with Chimicabra, like.
First of all, that's badass as all hell.
Hell yeah, it is.
Second
Second
off,
of all-
it feels like a special move.
I need you to roll Savior with a +1 forward.
Yay. Yep, didn't work. Savior, there it is. Whew. Okay.
Good. By the way, that was a defend roll.
Okay, I thought so. Good.
Yes. You drive in and you get into this fire and you see Castor with Death's scythe about to attack Dreamweaver.
Oh, she doesn't stop moving.
Like I said, you hit the defend roll, so you
Yeah.
keep them safe.
Good.
So on a 7 to 9. So first things first. I'm going to say you can't add a team to the pool here because it's not
Right.
that, but you can either take influence over your mother or clear a condition.
I think at this point.
Is there any way we can add team to this to make that a 10?
You're too busy playing with a tongue.
I figured he'd throw it
I
down.
think
Yeah.
I'm the only one who could, and I'd have to come up with a really good way to do it now.
Yeah,
And I can't think of a way to do it selfishly because you guys are kind of a little bit further away.
Right.
right. So,
So no.
are you clearing
Right.
a condition or taking influence over your mother?
Oh dear, that's important too. She doesn't have influence over me. I'm going to take influence over my mother.
Okay, you now have influence over your mother. You also have to choose to either expose yourself to cost, or expose yourself to danger, or escalate the situation.
Gianna's in a very sacrificial lamb type of mood right now.
Well, actually, before we do that, I have to ask the third question.
Yes,
So, Come On Lucky gives you help with 3 things, correct?
correct.
What's the third?
It was Unleash, Comfort and Support, and the last one is Assess the Situation.
Okay, I had to ask.
No, makes sense.
Okay, so
So, yeah. Considering what's going to be happening, it's actually probably going to escalate things. So she's making a choice here.
okay, so you're escalating the situation.
Pixies or fairies to help her to defend. And so she's bringing denizens of the dreaming to help her defend against denizens.
Okay, so you're escalating the situation.
Yeah.
So you come in, and the motorcycle just blocks the scythe. It goes flying. You and Chibi land, and there is Castor, flanked by the ebony-haired boy. And you see your mother, and she looks, no, why are you? You shouldn't be. And then she looks dead at Castor. This is all on you. And he smiles. Yes, it is. Now, will you continue with the deal that you made with me? Or will you renege and give me back my crown? And because you are escalating the situation, he snaps. You're not sure how the bird snaps, but a bird snaps.
I believe it.
And there is not one Crow Knight. You are now surrounded by Crow Knights, all with swords drawn.
But
And
it's better being surrounded by cronuts.
yes, and you see around you, because you're still sort of like in this fireball orb, because it's just a cool aesthetic.
Uh-huh.
You see a manifestation showing the waking. And it shows Sassy and Mr. Moth and Nessie fighting with Werewolf Hilbert.
No!
We'll get back to that in a minute. Drake, it's your turn.
So we haven't dealt with Alex yet. Is he still falling?
I figured, no, he'd just fall. Well, again, I figured he'd just, like, hero land to the ground, but.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's good.
I asked if he could fly for just fun reasons.
Okay. More than anything, I want to make sure that we cover that. Good. All right.
You're not, like, Alex is a Janus. Alex is not a beacon. If he was a beacon, I would say he's falling.
Right.
All right, so Drake, seeing that Alex has taken one eye out, is going to fly claws out and start spinning and aim at the other eye.
Okay. Roll to directly engage a threat.
What?
So, there is nothing you guys can do to help this.
No, not at all.
So you get aiming for this other eye. And you're great, you're ready to go. And then out of nowhere, a claw just comes and just backhands you into another mountain.
Where did we get all these mountains from?
At this point, you're gonna, like, destroy all of them.
Please roll to take another powerful blow.
Well, I think we do the same thing. Never give up. Never surrender.
Ooh.
Drake's racking up the
All right.
potential here.
Wow, it's a 12.
Yeah.
No, the misses before that.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. I'm speed running the potential on the other end.
Right.
I'm actually going to keep my attacker's attention here. Drake's going to hit the mountain, go through it, and when he comes out the other side, he has got this large boulder that he's going to hurl back at Enteritus.
So, I mean, mechanically speaking, he just swats it out of the sky and cuts it in half. Because all you're doing is keeping his attention. So you do that. And he is just looking at you. And we get,
Drake once again is...
Yeah. So we get the mechanical little, like, Dragon Ball Z stare down. And then we get the slow camera pan down to Alex.
Okay.
So let me outline the scene real quick. You have Enteritus staring down Drake. You have all of this war going around you. The dragon realms are looking pretty rough. And at this point, the fireball is starting to clear. So you see Gianna, Chibi, and Dreamweaver surrounded by Castor and a small army of Crow Knights. With a projection to the Waking showing all of Gianna's friends attacking her brother.
Okay. How close is Enteritus to, like, this Dreamweaver, Gianna, Chibi surrounded by army thing?
Are you asking for, like, your ability to move to get there? Or?
No, I'm asking how close me and Enteritus are to that. I have a thing. I just want to know.
I mean, close. Enteritus is definitely close just because he's gargantuan.
That's fine.
So
okay.
By
Well, I mean,
proximity,
he did light the fire, too. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
So by proximity,
he hasn't
he's
moved.
close.
Okay. So Alex is this.
I've done all the moving.
Yeah. So Alex looks up at Enteritus, and he's going to, because Power Rangers, they always have their thing on, like, their power, whatever source on their belt and whatnot. So he's going to activate it again, because he's been working on this a little bit now. And every Red Ranger has their battleizer. So you just see, this is literally just for aesthetics. You just see, like, forming around, like, his one arm, like this gold, gaudy-ass looking thing that basically looks like it should be on a toy in the store, but it's basically like this it's basically just like an extra, almost like brass knuckles, just a very, very really overdone version of it. So with that, Alex is going to jump up into the air as high as he can, and he's going to just slam directly on Enteridus's, like, basically the head. He's trying to do it with such force that he knocks him down.
Okay.
Because he wants him to fall directly on the Army of the Dreaming. And there we go.
I will tell you that even as a Power Ranger, even with a Battleizer, you are not strong enough
No.
to cause him to crash down into
I
that.
said I was trying. I didn't say it was going to
Yes.
work.
Yes.
But that's the idea. But anyway, I think what Alex is going to do is resist, and he's going to surprise or frighten or impress this thing.
Enteridus is extremely impressed because he's expecting, oh, I'm going to have to go toe-to-toe with the champion of the dragons. He's been kicking the crap out of the champion of the dragons, and instead this teeny tiny little spandex-clad human is keeping up with him. He's thoroughly impressed with you, and you hear in your head, help me and you can rule beside me.
No.
I didn't think you'd say yes, but I had to offer.
I appreciate that, though. That's respect.
At least you're better than that idiot who thinks he's the head of the king of the dragons or whatever. He's really as dumb as a rock, isn't he?
I mean, you should see him. He always falls into water. I mean, the fact that he hasn't yet, that he's got his powers back is kind of amazing.
Yeah. Oh, water, you say?
Yeah.
Gianna.
I mean, that's history is technically called Red
That was
Dragon.
the joke!
Yeah.
The joke, for those who can't see the chat, is the dragon realm could have been the red dragon realm.
Mm-hmm.
That was a joke. Gianna.
Yes.
So you're surrounded by all of this. Your mother looks conflicted. Like, by the way, you could look at her, and this is the first time she hasn't had this look of just like disdain. She looks like she's actually your mother and not Dreamweaver. The crown is still rested atop her head. And Castor slowly starts walking towards her, towards you. Now, Minerva, the deal you made was to keep both of your children safe. And you still have the power to do that, but by giving me my crown. Look at one and look at the trouble the second one is in. My army is winning, and as soon as that happens, I will have control of both the dreaming and the dragon realms, and you will be nothing more than a memory. So, you hand me the crown, and I go back to my world.
So,
And
Gianna actually, oh, go on.
one more thing real quick. You see your mother's hands are shaking as it looks like she's fighting with herself as her hands are coming up to her head.
Gianna grabs her mother's wrist as she looks at Castor, and she says, "You've made a mistake, Castor. It's not your army. It's ours." And she calls forth the army of pixies that she had with her to crash into Castor and his Cronites to create a nice little scuffle where the dreaming is fighting the dreaming.
Okay. All right. It sounded like you were setting up, so I had to ask. Okay. Roll 2 directly in. Are you fighting? So you're not fighting Castor. So basically, you brought the pixies in to fight the Cronites, basically.
Actually, crud. You know what? Throw the dice down. Yeah. Let's go for it. If I'm going to do this, this is the moment to do it.
Kind of is.
Yeah, I mean,
Activate your read.
Here we are. Moment of truth. People have always tried to define you by your lineage. as if from the moment you were born, you were meant to be some villain to be defeated. But they're right, aren't they? That darkness is in you. So right here, right now, you're not fighting it. You're embracing it. Both hero and villain, and greater besides. You're overcoming impossible odds in ways no hero would and no villain would comprehend. Of course, after seeing what you can really do when you embrace the whole of yourself, the rest of the world isn't going to forget who you really are. When Gianna reaches up and grabs her mother's wrist, and she makes a declaration that this is our army, the fairies and pixies, they swarm in and start fighting against the Crow Knights, getting in between Castor and her mom, and it creates a massive scuffle where these two sides are fighting against each other. Dreams against dreams, nightmares against nightmares. But as the fight goes on and Gianna is exerting her power with her mother, you can see the violent energy she had previously with Hilbert is now enveloping the both of them. And it feels like, for the moment, Gianna is interacting with the crown that her mother has and accepting her lineage. And as she gives a look at Castor, and she says, "It's our army, it's our world, and you're no longer in it." And as she says that, the violent energy goes out from all of them, and the Crow Knights stop fighting with the pixies and turn all towards Castor. And the Knights and the pixies, all of them, start closing in on Castor and the ebony-haired boy. And there's a crushing energy as it all falls apart around him. Yeah.
So there's just, even fighting in Terratus, Drake and Alex, you hear screams of Castor just getting enveloped. "No, you are my army. I'm a god. I'm a god."
Shooting God.
Gianna, you stand there next to your mother. And she looks at you. Tears in her eyes. "I'm sorry. So sorry."
I know why you did it, Mom.
And she collapses into your hands. And the crown falls off her head, tumbling to the ground. And the last image you'll be left with in the comic is a split page of Gianna holding her mother, the somnolent crown, on the ground next to them. And the other half of the page is Drake and Alex staring up at the roaring form of Enteritus.
Bleeding without a tongue and missing an eye.
Yeah, but still standing.
Yeah, still standing. Because, my gosh, this thing's huge.
Yes, it is. Thank you all very much for watching. On behalf of Chameleon Ice, who at this point I think I have to give the nickname of Mr. Moment of Truth, Norastra and OPT, I am TGE, reminding everybody to, of course, as always, keep hailing.
Bye, everybody.
Nice.